Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. Today we're talking about the new Headcore 106 Ti. Big changes to the Headcore line for 2026 across the board. Every single width changes, both on the men's and the women's side. And previously, the Core 105 was one of my favorite skis in the Core line. So this 106 is the replacement for that. And I'm pretty intrigued by it. As is true with all the cores, they kind of did away with the carbon-based construction, and instead they're going with 2 full sheets of Titanal. So this thing's got a lot of metal in it now, and it definitely changes it. Like when we put it on the scale, you're going to see a much heavier weight compared to old cores, but they're still very maneuverable and fun and very useful. Definitely saw that feedback reflected in our ski test this season from various different people. So yeah, pretty cool how they put these things together now. It's a Karuba and beech wood core, so kind of mixing 2 different woods with very different densities to achieve the weight and performance that they want. They're still using graphene in these skis, which we've seen graphene used in head cores for a long time now. But yeah, now there's 2 sheets of Titanal in these skis, which is pretty cool. You know, it's also very interesting because kind of the theme behind head cores for a long time is that they didn't necessarily need metal, and I don't know the exact reason why, but the engineers and designers at Head decided, you know what, we actually think metal is going to improve these skis, and I think it has. I think across the board, like, objectively, I think the cores, the performance that they're striking now is going to be better for most skiers. Let's see, we got a 177 here, 106 underfoot. We're at 2,070 grams now. So I can't recall off the top of my head what a Core 105 would have weighed in a similar length, but significantly lighter, like a couple 100 grams lighter at least. So a difference there for sure. And then you see a little bit of a difference in the flex pattern. If anything, they might be a little bit softer. The old cores were very light and very, very stiff, which gave them a very unique feel. This definitely has more of just kind of a traditional but still stiff flex pattern. It doesn't just feel as like jarringly stiff as the previous skis. And then looking at shape here, the shapes haven't changed tremendously. Obviously, they've tweaked the waist width going from 105 to 106, and that's kind of true across the board in all the different skis in the core line. Aside from that, it's pretty darn similar. So we always saw a good amount of tip rocker in head cores, especially the 105 and wider versions. And then we get a decent amount of tail rocker back here too. I feel like there might be a little bit more splay than we used to have. This is a 177, like I said, so 16.7 meter turn radius in this ski, which is pretty snappy. And they achieved that by putting a good amount of early taper here. So the widest point of the ski is about right there in the tip, and pretty similar conversation back here in the tail. So just kind of shortening the sort of effective edge of the ski, and that helps them keep that turn radius where it is. And yeah, I really like them. I think they're great. They're definitely more damp now than they were before. It's hard to say that they're more powerful because head cores have always had quite a lot of power to them just with their really, really stiff flex pattern. But the extra vibration damping, to me, they just feel more confidence inspiring. They feel smoother. They don't feel like they're going to get deflected ever. In fact, it's really like one of the best skis for reducing deflection, where previously head cores were kind of among the discussion of skis that get deflected often. So it's pretty cool to see that change there. And then I love the feedback from Grant that we got. I didn't write it down word for word, but you know, he said similar things, that it was a great free ride ski, super, super versatile, really confidence inspiring, but he also found some forgiveness to it as well. And I think that's important. I always felt like the Core 105 had a reasonable amount of forgiveness. It kind of differentiated itself from the 99 and narrower cores. A little bit more rocker, a little bit more taper, and just the shape allowed you to, make some mistakes and recover from those mistakes. And I think that's absolutely still true about this ski. And the other thing that I think is great about it is it has the skiing chops. It has the power and the stability to ski fast, but then, here in Vermont, we have a lot of tight trees, and take it into tight trees, and sure, it's heavier now, and maybe it's a touch more fatiguing to get it to maneuver around, but with the shorter turn radius and with this shape in general, it's gonna feel pretty quick and agile and kind of promote these nice round, small turns to get through stuff. So yeah, for a freeride ski, it kind of checks all the boxes, especially for a directional skier. You're not looking at a twin tip here by any means. So ski it fast, it's damp, it's smooth, and then you can also ski it in technical terrain, tight trees here in Vermont, narrow chutes and couloirs, and yeah, it's like, it'd be hard to come up with a freeride scenario where the Core 106 Ti wouldn't do really, really well. Maybe just like super, super deep snow, and then it might sink a little bit, but you could just go get a wider one. They make wider ones too. So that's it. That is the Core 106 Ti from Head. Let us know if you have any questions about it, and we will see you out there on the slopes.